Hello there, my dear students. Welcome to another day of Learning Practical Research 1. So if you have questions in mind about what is soft science, observation, scientific approach, triangulation, hard science, naturalistic approach, mixed method, humanities, and interview, if these are the questions you have in mind, well, this will be answered in this discussion. Welcome, students, to this classroom. So we are still in Practical Research 1, Module 2, but this time we will be tackling Lesson 2 in Module 2, which is the importance of qualitative research across fields of inquiry. Now, for our objective this morning is for you to illustrate the importance of qualitative research across fields of inquiry. But before that, let's have first a quick activity. So you're going to answer true if the statement is true and false if it is not. I will just give you 5 seconds to answer each question. Okay, are you ready? For number 1, okay, so research studies what happens in any field of knowledge. True or false? Okay. Okay, for number 1, if your answer is true, then you got it right. Okay, for number 2, scientific approach expresses and records your findings qualitatively. True or false? Scientific approach expresses, records, and records your findings qualitatively. True or false? Okay, so if your answer is false, then you are right. Let's proceed to number 3. Triangulation or mixed method enhances accuracy and interpretation. True or false? Just take your wild guess. If your guess is true, then you're right. Next, number 4. Naturalistic approach is people-oriented. All right. So if your answer is true, then you got it correctly. Number 5, a qualitative research is exclusive to both hard and soft sciences. True or false? Okay, for number 5, the answer is false. Number 6, soft science studies human behavior in a scientific manner. True or false? All right. Number 6 is true. Number 7, the scientific approach gives stress to measurable and observable facts instead of personal views, feelings, or attitudes. True or false? Just take your wild guess. Okay, so if your answer is true, then you are correct. Number 8, all research types approaches apply to all data collecting techniques? True or false? Okay, for number 8, if your answer is true, then you are correct. And number 9, reasons happens in just one field of knowledge. Again, reasons happens in just one field of knowledge. True or false? Okay, for number 9, the answer is false. And lastly, number 10, past events in a person's life are the focus of triangulation. Again, past events in a person's life are the focus of triangulation. True or false? Okay, if your wild guess is false, then you are correct. Okay, so that's all for our activity. So now, we proceed to the review. Now, in the previous lesson that we had, you learned to describe the nature, characteristics of qualitative research with its kinds, strengths, and weaknesses. Alright? So, if you haven't watched yet the discussion about this topic or this lesson in Module 2, so kindly watch the video, the latest video that is uploaded. And we can deduce this idea out from that lesson that qualitative research is capable to give rich information about our respondents or participants, be it humans or animals. Why? Because in qualitative research, we are dealing with understanding the experiences of our participants. Hence, the word capable of giving rich information. Okay? Now, in this module, we will be dealing with first the idea that research in different areas of knowledge. Right? Now, research studies happens in any field of knowledge. This was present in one of the questions in the activity, diba? That research studies happen in any field of knowledge. It doesn't just happen in one field of knowledge. Like the field of anthropology, business, communication, education, engineering, law, and nursing, and other field of knowledge. So, research can be applied, or research can happen in any of these fields. Okay? Now, for number 1, let us deal with the basic research approaches first. No? So, we have here basic research approaches in a specific area of discipline. Since we are dealing with field of knowledge, that is also connected to the word discipline. When we say discipline here, it doesn't mean the discipline we encounter or we receive from our parents. That's another kind of discipline. In research, discipline means an area of a field, an area of knowledge, or a field of knowledge. Just like as I have said kanina, yung anthropology, business, communication, and others. So in this case, we will be dealing with basic research approaches in any field of discipline or in any field of knowledge that was mentioned a while ago. So we have 3 basic research approaches. First, we have scientific or positive approach. Second, naturalistic approach. And the third one is triangulation or mixed method. So we'll be dealing with this individually. So number 1, scientific or positive approach. So this approach deals with empirical data instead of personal views, feelings, or attitudes. So when we say scientific approach, now it deals with empirical data. When we say empirical data, this data should be based on data that is verifiable by observation instead of mere theory, no, or pure logic. So the data you will be dealing here should be empirical instead of views, opinions, no, feelings, or attitudes. Next, scientific approach or positive approach also allows control of variables or factors affecting the study. That's according to Lorsen 2010. Okay? So, ano kaya yung type of research design that deals with or has control over variables? So, diba? That is quantitative research. So, therefore, the scientific or positive approach is applicable in quantitative research. So, another idea about this approach is that it expressed and records findings quantitatively. So, ito yung sinabi ko kanina. And also, it presents structured interviews, questionnaires, and observational checklists. Okay? So, that's how you're going to use or apply scientific or positive approach. All right? Now, let's proceed to the second basic research approaches in specific area of discipline, the naturalistic approach. So this approach is people-oriented since it focuses on discovering the real concept or meaning behind people's lifestyle and social relations. So from the idea itself, we can deduce that this is pointed to qualitative research design since we will be focusing on the meaning behind the people's social relations and experiences. All right. This also presents things qualitatively through verbal language. Okay. So using words as unit of analysis. So very quali ito. It's also a basis in determining social values to define ethical and unethical that society ought to know, not only for the benefit of individual and community, but also for the satisfaction of man's quest for knowledge. All right? So, again, why are we doing research? Diba? It is to add knowledge to the existing knowledge, no, in the society. So, example of naturalistic approach is talking to ethnic groups or people with other culture in a natural setting. In this case, the researcher uses unstructured interviews and participants' answer or response is not scripted. Okay, so this is the nature of qualitative research, specifically in or during the interview or data collection. All right, so let's proceed to the third type of basic research approach. No? So we have here triangulation or mixed method. Okay, I know this is your first time hearing this word triangulation. Okay, but the word mixed method, I think na-discuss na ito or na-touch na ito na word, okay, in my previous lessons. All right, so this method allows a combination or a mixture of research designs. Okay, so from the word mixture or combination of both design, the qualitative and quantitative research design. Data collection and data analysis techniques also. So when we say triangulation or mixed method, two designs were used or being mixed in a single study. Whether it's in the area of data collection or data analysis. Okay? It also enhanced the validity and reliability of qualitative research design. All right. So it enhances the validity and reliability of qualitative research design, since we can use both research design. So if we are doubtful, no, say for example in after you have collected the data, if you are doubtful about the result, no, or after analyzing, if you're doubtful about the result of your analysis, you can verify it using another design. Say for example, you are doubtful about the survey you have conducted, the result of the survey you have conducted, then you can verify it, no, through interviews. Alright? So kung hindi ka satisfied sa result ng survey, pwede kang conduct ng other data collection technique, and then you can use other instrument. Say for example, interview. So by that, you are already doing triangulation or mixed method. It also enhances accuracy of interpretation. Yun nga, kasi because you can validate one result using another technique. It has also an opportunity to view every single or every angle of the research from different perspective. So from a survey, you can do interview or you can do observation. Some researchers will also use triangulation to validate results by comparing the results from different observers of the same phenomenon. So you can also use, or you can also validate your results according to the results of the different researchers, provided that you have researched, no, the same problem. Okay, so in other words, it is a form of cross-checking or cross verification. Okay, so that is triangulation or mixed method. We also have three main methods of data collection, since we are talking about data collection, no? So na-discuss na ito, no? Na-touch na ito when we talk about qualitative research, but let us just recall. Okay, so we have three methods when collecting data. So the first one is interactive interviewing, where people ask to verbally describe their experiences of phenomenon. So ito yung interview na sinasabi ko. We also have written descriptions by participants. So you can also ask your participants, no, to write their experiences if it is impossible for you to conduct a face-to-face interview. So you can ask people to write descriptions of their experiences of the phenomenon you are researching. And the third one is observation, right? Descriptive observations of verbal and non-verbal behavior. Because this is in the case where the data you wanted to see is not, or the data you have collected from interviews is not enough to answer your questions, then you opted to do another technique in collecting data, which is observation. No? Because sometimes there are cases that the responses of your participants is not in accordance or aligned to what they are showing. No? So that is why we do observation. That is to validate their behavior in a natural setting. Okay? Now, in the field of humanities class, since in qualitative research, we are, again, dealing with the behavior and understanding the behavior of our participants as well as their experiences. Now, in the field of humanities, researchers ought to focus not to man's social life, but instead studies its meanings, significance, and visualizations of man's experiences in the field of fine arts, literature, music, drama, dance, and other artistically inclined subjects. So if we wanted to know, if we wanted to dig deeper about the meaning of our participants' experiences, then we are dealing, or then we are inclined with the field, in the field of humanities. All right, so the second basic research approach in the specific area of discipline, we have hard science versus soft sciences. Okay, so we have here two tables. The first column is for quantitative research, and the second column is for qualitative research. Now, this hard and soft science is under a specific research design. So for hard science, that is under qualitative research, while soft science is under qualitative research. Okay. Another, quantitative research studies natural data-driven phenomenon, while qualitative research studies human behavior in a specific manner. Okay? And in qualitative research, we are dealing with human behavior, whereas in quantitative research, we're dealing with natural data. Okay, again, it involves numbers. For objective and subjective, objective is for quantitative, while subjective is for qualitative research. Okay, I know you already have an idea about that. When it comes to theory, when we say quanti, we test theory. So we have a theory and we test if it is true, true into this setting. Okay. Whereas in quali, we develop theory. After we conduct our study, and then afterwards we develop another theory. When it comes to numbers and words, so it is clear that numbers is what is being dealt with in quantitative research, whereas in qualitative research is more of words. Cause and effect relationship is under quantitative research, since it's like a finding the relationship between an independent variable and a dependent variable. So it's somehow connected to the idea of cause and effect relationship, right? Whereas in qualitative research, we are knowing here the meaning and discovering the meaning behind the experiences of our participants. In quantitative research, statistical analysis and generalizations is what we are trying to apply in dealing with or analyzing the data. We use statistics. In qualitative research, we use our own interpretation, right? Because we are the ones who will interpret and create a theme, out from that responses of your participants. Now, in quantitative research, we have these examples of field of discipline where this quantitative research design is very much used. So in the field of biology, chemistry, physics, astronomy, and earth science. Hence the word hard sciences. Whereas in qualitative research, we have this field of discipline under soft sciences, namely sociology, psychology, political science, economics, anthropology, and history. Okay? So as you can see, in this fields of discipline in qualitative research, it really discovers the meaning behind a person's behavior, or meaning underlying the behavior of a certain person. Okay, whereas in quantitative research dito, it's really more of data oriented. Okay, so we have biology, physics, things like that. It's really quanti in nature. Okay. Another idea about hard science and soft science and why are they under quanti and quali. When we say hard science or hard sciences, it uses math explicitly. They also have more control over the variables and conclusions. All right. So mostly, okay, science related subjects or science fields are under this under quantitative research because they can control variables, okay, and they use math explicitly, whereas in qualitative research, it is soft science is under this design, because when we say soft sciences, it is under qualitative research because soft sciences uses the process of collecting data, then use the best method possible to analyze that data collected. So again, it is really qualitative in nature. Okay, so that's it for the difference between hard sciences and soft sciences. Okay, based on those approaches presented to you, these are the ideas that we can deduce. That qualitative and quantitative research can go together in a research approach. This is the idea of triangulation or mixed method. Second, there is a symbiotic relationship between these two results or research methods in which they reinforce or strengthen each other. So when we say symbiotic relationship, the both sides benefit from each other, right? Then, moreover, any form of knowledge, factual or opinionated, and any statistical or verbal expression of this knowledge are deduced from human experience that is subjective. That's according to Holloway 2013 and Leatherby 2013. All right? So before we end this discussion, let me share to you first this Bible verse from Mark 11:25. And when you stand praying, if you hold anything against anyone, forgive them, so that your Father in heaven may forgive you your sins. This Bible verse only means that what we do towards our neighbor or towards another being, we do it also to God. So if we forgive the people that hurts us, God will also forgive our sins. So that's all for this morning. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day and be safe, everyone. Goodbye.